Right, people, welcome back to the Kop TV once again with Abbi Summers.
Here I am.
Here you are once more. How are you?
I'm all right, hon. You?
Yeah, a bit tired. Long trip back down from Liverpool last night. If you're doing that trip, don't do it in a Tesla, people.
Don't do it in a Tesla.
Because 3 stops at Kiel, Milton Keynes and somewhere else wasn't the one, mate. I'll be honest. But we're here. We're live. We're in the building. Good to have you back, as
Nice
it always
to be back.
Second appearance in 2 weeks on the
Yeah,
channel.
I mean, last time weren't great for me. Don't feel like this time would be great for me either.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Smash that like button, get your comments in, score predictions, lineup predictions. How did Liverpool go at this game? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've just come off the back of a grueling DR session where we were both semi-cooked, though...
I actually think I didn't get cooked.
Yeah, you maybe got away with it a little bit.
I feel like
it was aimed at me this week.
It's difficult. It's difficult to cook me right now because firstly, no one won this week other than... Well, no one won. Yeah. No one won. So you can't really cook. Obviously, I'm the only one that had the actual L, but
yeah.
But it's hard to cook Spurs right now because I think everyone's just starting to feel a bit sorry for us.
And it's not like you come out and say we're going to win these games and then you don't, and then you're kind of holding it that way.
I thought we'd lose this game.
Yeah. So
against Newcastle,
it is what it is, and we play Tottenham away once more. This time in the League Cup semi-final. If I'm truly honest, Ab, I'd almost like the final place guaranteed after Wednesday night.
I bet.
We could do without more really important, tough games at the minute. We just want to... We've kind of had our really difficult period. The Madrids, Cities, Arsenal.
We've come
through that really well, but we kind of just want to almost slip under the radar again and just clock up the wins more. So
I don't know if you can slip under the radar when you're leading the league.
You can't really. You got if the pressure's on, you must deliver. So Liverpool go there off the back of this draw against United, which I think maybe impacts the team selection a little bit from us. I was speaking to Doyle this morning on Hot Topics. He says you still play Alisson. Maybe Kelleher comes in for the Accrington Stanley game. I would say so. I would want that. I think maybe just take Trent out of the limelight a little bit, see how Connor gets on. Because he was playing so well. Let's not forget that tackle against Mbappe, and he went off injured in that game. So I would go with him. At the back, I mean, Konate's just come back. It would be good for him to get more minutes, but you rarely see a Konate and Quansah. It's always Van Dijk plus. And I think Van Dijk, knowing Slot, he rarely drops Van Dijk, so I'd stick with him. And yeah, Konate just to get the minutes up again.
What do you do in your midfield?
That's the big question now, because Szoboszlai, we missed it, and it will be Robertson at left back. Maybe Tsimikas comes in for the FA Cup game. The midfield, we were missing Szoboszlai. I think everyone could see that. We were missing him so much in terms of maybe not the creativeness, but definitely the press and forcing people into mistakes. There wasn't enough of that yesterday with Jones. So having said that, does Jones start this one?
I reckon he probably does.
He probably does. I'd go with Endo.
Endo's
just to give Maka a bit of a rest. Yeah, I think he almost predicted that this season when you go out and buy the midfielders that we did last year. He had such a pivotal role last year, but I think now he understands his role. But when he is called upon,
step up,
mate, he steps up. I love Endo as a footballer. I absolutely adore him. I think he just gets stuck in and never lets the team down. So yeah, why not go with Endo in the midfield? Gravenberch is there. Harvey Elliott could come in. I don't want to change things too much because we've got a big game on Tuesday against Forest. You want to keep their minutes in the tank, and then up front. I mean, does Mo Salah play? Probably. If I'm honest, he still plays most games. Through the middle, though, this is the question. As a Tottenham fan, who would you prefer to see through the middle? Nunes?
Yeah.
Well, he's now suspended for the Forest game, so big up to you. You sausage sometimes. I still love him, but he's a bit of a sausage. Salchicha. And then, so he probably does play in this game because he can't play the Forest game.
Yeah.
And then maybe you start with a Gakpo on the left. Chiesa. Haven't seen enough of him. Where are you, my friend? Where are
you? Where are you?
Yeah, literally, Delia Smith setting. So, yeah, I can't really nail down a predicted 11. But again, try to in the comments. I've had a little stab at it. The more interesting thing is, what are you going to do? Because, what was it, 7 players at training?
On Thursday, we had 7 players available to train. I think by Friday it was 11. Look, it's no surprise. Wow. No shock to anyone. Spurs about Spurs' injuries. Everyone's very aware of that. There is a lot of injuries to first team players and squad. those players that would come on and maybe be able to impact a game. We are on bare bones. Plus, we've had this illness. Archie Gray, bless his little heart,
Big him up, man.
Played through that for the whole 90 against Newcastle. Dragosin had to come off. Fraser Forster was out as well. Brandon Austin stepped in, and credit to him, good performance. Still ended in a loss though, didn't it? So
he covered himself in glory though a little bit.
He did. Look, he's not a kid. He's 26 years old, but he's not played any first team football. He went to America for a little bit. That was 3 years ago. So you've got to be patient when you do get your opportunity to step up. Obviously, that was a big moment for him as well, like in his career. And he did really well with it. Whether or not Fraser Forster is back in for that game on Wednesday, I'm not sure. We signed another goalkeeper from Slavia Prague, another young 21-year-old. I think that's also just depth, really. Look, I don't think there'll be much difference, to be honest with you. That's really the tale of Spurs this season. They're not able to rest. They're not able to recuperate or anything like that. You're using the same players essentially every single game, week in, week out, because you don't have the luxury of that depth because of the injuries, and also just because Spurs haven't got enough quality. I think, again, it will be... Porro had a good game against Newcastle, I felt. We Dragosin and Gray. Again, Archie Gray's been magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. I can't wait to see him actually play in his role at some point. Again, it'll probably be Jed Spence.
At left back.
Yeah, left back. Again, right back playing at left, because I don't have anyone available.
A doggy out, yeah.
And Ben Davis, who would be the cover. No Ben Davis. Then again, Basuma probably.
Yeah.
Basuma, maybe Sarr. Could go with Bergvall again, not sure. Bergvall again, another player that is probably, he should have been embedded over time and having to actually play at the moment.
Been thrown in at
quite a lot of football at 18 years old. Did a good enough job the other day. And then obviously kind of towards the front, that's where we've actually got players available. So he keeps rotating between Kulusevski and Maddison. Lots of people want to make a story out of that. I don't think there's that much story there. I think it's just managing minutes and trying to make sure that no one else gets injured. Obviously Kulusevski starts. I think he goes Johnson, and then I think he goes Son as well, maybe.
Through the middle.
Well, I say that, probably will start Solanke, won't he? He didn't start Son the other day. So then maybe he doesn't. Maybe he goes Kulusevski. Son, Solanke, actually.
I'd say that's what we'd probably go with.
And then maybe just... my one thing would be maybe I'd like him to learn maybe a lesson from the 6-3 a couple of weeks ago, and maybe just give something else in that midfield. I don't know what that is, really. Do you have Maddison play as well and go deeper? I don't know. But
tough one.
You have to start Kulusevski. I would always choose to start Solanke as well. He likes Brennan Johnson. I don't know. I don't know what he does, but you have to try and put bodies in that midfield, because against you last time, it was like a bloody basketball match. It was ridiculous.
It was a joke of a football match. There was just no control. It was basketball, especially for a Premier League game. The cup games are more often than not the crazy ones with the score lines. So,
but this is massive for Spurs, right? Because
we've got the picture here, don't we?
I always win trophies in my second season.
I always win trophies in my second season.
Well, we've also got a game at Tamworth on the weekend, so I'm hoping
there's a chance there.
There's a chance there.
This game, obviously, I'm assuming you would have not preferred to play Liverpool across two legs in this competition. It's going to make it more difficult.
The whole competition's been tough for us.
Yeah, you've had a tough run.
You have City, you have United, you have Liverpool, and then you'll get Arsenal or Newcastle if you get to the final. It's been a really, really tough journey for Spurs. There's been nothing kind about this to us. Look, all my eggs are in the trophy basket, to be honest with you, whether that is Carabao, Europa League, FA Cup, I do not care.
So you've got to go strong as possible. I know it's tough.
You've got to play your full strength 11, whatever you've got available, on Wednesday at home, because killing it the second leg at Anfield, it absolutely is a killer for Spurs.
Would you have preferred it the other way around?
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's pros and cons to both, because either you go to Anfield and the game's done before you get back home,
right,
or you try and stay in this as much as you can,
get a draw and go back.
And then go to Anfield. Yeah. So it's not really nice either way around for Tottenham, to be totally honest. I think would have struggled against Newcastle if second leg was at St James's Park, and I think we definitely would have struggled against Arsenal as well. So I don't know. It's a weird thing to say, in terms of having the squad that we've got, because obviously we haven't got our first choice centre backs. We haven't even really got our third choice apart from Dragusin. So everyone else, we're missing so many key players in that spine of the team. That it's hard. It's hard, but I think we'd struggle on a good day with everyone fit. So when you're asking these players who are in makeshift positions some of the time to do this job, like it's tough. But my eggs are in the basket. It's like the league position is obviously woeful. I mean, I looked at the table the other day and I couldn't believe there's 10 losses. Like, terrible. I feel like I'm watching 90s Tottenham in terms of the actual results. But the performances, like Forest was bad. But Newcastle wasn't bad. You know, the line wasn't that high. And I still don't think the line was that high against you last time. I really don't. But we've also had really good moments as well this season, you know. So when it clicks, I know Spurs are more than capable of winning games and playing in the way that Ange wants them to. And that's why I won't be Ange out. But he's got to focus on the cups because the league, there's definitely 3 worse teams than Spurs. So
don't worry about that.
I'm not worried about getting relegated.
Robbie winding you up, that is.
No, I'm not worried about getting relegated at all. But, you know, you've got to make it count. It could be a season like West Ham had where you end up finishing 16th or something, but you get a trophy out of it, and I'd take it.
And do you know what? It's weird for me to say this as a Liverpool fan, but let's just say you weren't playing Liverpool in this semi. I would want you to win this trophy.
Thank you. That's really sweet. I feel like Arne Slot would as well.
Yeah, because he likes Ange, and he said that in his press conference, didn't he? He said, you know, I'd love them to win a cup, but obviously it's just unfortunate for you that it's against us, so we don't want you to win this cup. But
the thing is, though, I feel like obviously
United, more for you, to be honest.
United, thank you. I know United have been absolutely terrible, right? Terrible.
Yeah.
But the performance they showed against you the other day.
Does that give you a bit of hope?
It gives me a little bit of hope. Yeah, it gives me a little bit of hope because if you can have a bit of tactical nous about you, which I'm looking at Ange for that, maybe you can get something. Anfield is not a place where we are ever fruitful. It's terrible hunting ground for us.
It is really bad.
Even in games where we should have won them, we don't win them. So, and that was when we were doing really well, you know, 7-8 years ago. So, which time really flies when you're not having fun. But yeah, this also has to come down to the way that he sets the team up and the way that he coaches. And I'm not asking him to necessarily bend on his morals, but maybe it can be a performance which is more like a City. Maybe.
If you could do that every week.
Be tight.
Jeez, you would be absolutely flying.
I'm not saying they have to be as flawless as that, but I'm saying there has to be a little bit of tactical nous because the line definitely wouldn't nowhere near as high.
Are you scared that if... Again, we saw Liverpool go, what was it, 5-1 up at
5-1 up.
Spurs the other day. Are you scared that if the game early in the first, if we score early, do you think the game could maybe run away from you a little bit?
Yeah, I do. It's a weird one with that game because on one hand, when it was 5-1, obviously you're like, oh my God. But I actually kind of commended the team for getting back to 5-3. And at 5-3, it don't sound as bad as 6-3, which is such a weird thing to say. But they were still fighting for it. And that's what I also saw against Newcastle. Like, this is not a team that is down tools and are not playing for the manager. I think this is just a team that has been ravaged by illness and injury.
Yeah, I agree.
And also a team that is like, is down to its bare bones. And obviously when you're losing all the time and confidence is low, but this is not a team I look at and think they're not fighting for the manager.
I agree.
I don't see that.
I agree. And do you know what? We'll never know the answer, but in a hypothetical situation, where would Spurs actually be in the league? You know, if they didn't have all these, because Robbie takes the mick and that, but in Premier League history, I know Bournemouth have got a lot out, Brighton do it as well at the minute, but in terms of bare bones, I mean, if 7 geezers are turning up to training,
that's what it was like last week.
I mean, that's like Sunday League when half of them are hungover from the night before and they've forgot to pay their subs. Like,
it's bad. Like,
I've never heard of 7 turning up to training.
And also, I think it's what's frustrating is like Mickey van der Ven and Romero were meant to be back early this month, and that's been pushed back. Obviously, again, with Mickey van der Ven, that's a recurring injury. Romero was different. Lots of people saying, well, he could adapt the line, whatever. Well, yeah, maybe he could. Maybe he could adapt the line. But at the same time, if you're hamstring, when you kind of get those hamstring issues and you've got that pace, once it goes, it tends to recur anyway. It's just a shame because obviously he's so young. But it's been hard because Spurs haven't had really their first choice centre-back pairing since like October.
Yeah.
Bar half an hour against Chelsea.
Yeah.
That's it. So do I think that Spurs would be top 4? Probably not. But do I think that we'd probably be top half? Yeah.
Yeah, of course you would be. There's no doubt about that. Right, score predictions. We're going to be doing a watch along for this one, myself and Doyle. Looking forward to it. Make sure you're with us for that one. First of 2 games. Again, you'll probably be back on the channel in a couple weeks. I think it's like February. I think it's like actually a month today, which is the second leg. It's a bit weird that. the length in between the first and the
There's so
second
many games.
I'm actually going to Thailand the day after that game.
Nice.
So obviously win, and then I can go into Thailand knowing that there might be a little box park Wembley on the cards again, or lose. Yeah, because apparently he always wins trophies in his second season.
He does. Just probably not at Tottenham.
Just not great ones as well.
And only win where you manage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Big him up. So score predictions, bearing in mind there is a second leg to come, which again, as we said, is a month away. Give me what you'd love and then what you think.
What I'd love is a win at any cost. A win at any
cost. And
a
clean sheet.
Yeah, I'd love a clean sheet. Can't see that happening. I'd love her to... I'd love, in a dream world, a 6-0 Spurs win. I would think that would put enough distance between us at Anfield that maybe we'd just be able to see it out. What I think will happen is 2-2.
Because that does set up a juicy semi second leg at Anfield. And Liverpool fans definitely were happier when we knew the second leg was at Anfield. If you ask all the teams we play in 2-leggers, they're hoping it's Anfield first. So you can just get it out of the way. So you're going 2-2, yeah?
I'm going to go 2-2, yeah.
I would not like that, I'll be honest. I'd love a clean sheet, but at the minute we just can't keep them. Apart from the West Ham game, where even then we gifted them that Paqueta chance, literally. They hit the post. So I'm not really liking the fact that we're sloppy, we're conceding. Alisson doesn't seem to have them kind of concrete risks since he's come back. You know, the Martinez goal was a good goal. Very powerful. Very it's flown past him. But the second one, for me, positioning could be better. You could maybe get down. It was right in the middle of the goal. So I need a clean sheet from you, Mr. Becker, please. I'd like a bit of a share around the goals. I know Mo Salah obviously gets most of them, and Gakpo and Diaz. But I'd love a Nunez goal. I'd love a little goal from the midfield. Jota will be there, yeah. So we could go... The options are actually quite mad for this game. You've got Gakpo, Diaz on the left, Jota, Nunez through the middle, Salah and Chiesa. So there's 6 attackers there.
Kicking someone down.
I know, but we thought this would happen against United, and it didn't. Well, so I'm not going to give it the whole big chest business, big chest Mandy and that. I'm not doing it. So you've gone 2-2. I think Doyle and I said on the show this morning 3-1. Okay. And then you've got a nice little cushion. But then if it is 3-1 and you go into that second leg and you concede first, boy, Liverpool never do it the easy way. I think you're the same as this. Like Spurs
Have you
never.
Seen my team?
Yeah, we're both two teams that are quite chaotic. And when you think, oh, nice little easy, you concede a goal, and then you start getting nervous, a bit worried. We just don't do things the easy way. But I want another trip to Wembley under Mr. Slot in March. I think is actually the final this year. So let us know what you think in the chat. How does this one finish in the first leg? And the score that you give us for the first leg, how does that impact the second leg as well? And I guess I'll see you in a month's time.
I'll see you in a month, huh?
My little sis. So big up. We'll do a little spud across the table. Smash that like button. Get your comments in. Line up predictions. Have I got it wrong? Have I jinxed it? Actually, I'm not addressing the jinxing stuff anymore, Ab. All right, anyone that says I'm jinxing it, you're getting blocked. So just be aware. And then get your score predictions in as well. Looking forward to this one. Watch along from, what time's kickoff? Is it 8 or half 7?
8 o'clock.
8. So we'll be going live around 7:30. So looking forward to it. Abby, once more, thank you for your time. I always appreciate you coming on. I'm sure the people at home love it as well. And I'll see you on Thursday for more of the same on DR.
Hopefully I'm cooking you.
Well, hopefully. Hopefully I'm cooking you, actually. So we'll see. Who's going to cook who? Find out on Thursday. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Bye.